everybody. This is Football Frank and I'm Coach Mad Mike.
It's Lord Sarge!
And your boy, good old Shak.
Good old Shak. All right, Lord Sarge. Welcome, guys. We are in the Commanders Edition, and I'm telling you, training camp is here. And so with training camp here, I'm telling you, I feel like football is so close. Can y'all believe this? This Thursday, preseason games actually start with the Hall of Fame game this Thursday night.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Like, we're here already.
Yes.
And for the Commanders, our first game is going to be August 10th at New York. We're going to be going up against the Jets. Yep. It's on a Saturday game. So we're going to have to be able to check that out Saturday night. And I feel so good that football is here. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm excited. You know, first and foremost, this is my favorite time of the year. Only thing that sucks about this time of the year is that we're starting to get into those winter months. That's it. I wish we could have like something football in the summer, 24 hours of daylight is good to go. You know, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. The other thing we got right now is I just want to let everybody know, for those people who are on here, we're going to get this show really going fast here in a second, but like there will be no show next Monday night. Next Monday night, I will be out. So we will take a week hiatus and then come back the week after next. And I will have that thing pre-positioned. Looking forward to it because by then, preseason games will be on and we'll have all kinds of stuff to report about.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm looking forward to is what's going to come out with all these people who are saying, I'm not so sure about this team. I don't know who's starting where, but we're going to get into it tonight. But I will tell you, for those that are going to be tuning in this Thursday night to see the Chicago Bears take on the Houston Texans, all eyes are on Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall draft pick. He says he wants to play in that game, but he has not been told yet whether or not he will play.
Yeah. They're going to – I can tell you right now, Caleb Williams is going to play because they want to get a good feel for him. They want to see what he looks like in real time with the first team. So we may see him maybe like 2 or 3 drives before they snatch him out because he's the future of their franchise. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, for us, training camp started here the day before yesterday. We were supposed to be there yesterday. I had tickets. I think you did too, Shak, and we did not make it there.
It didn't make it.
What happened to you, Shak?
Listen, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna lie. I think from all the traveling and stuff I was doing and with all the moving, I just was like, I guess I was jet lagged. I was like, man, I wanted to go see my guys, but the fatigue took over.
Hey, you know what? For me, I started off the day with Large Sarge. We had breakfast. We called you from there. Yeah. I was slow rolling. For some reason, we thought it was going to be an all-day event till like 6. I Ubered it out there. I get there about like a little bit before 12. It ended at 12. Everybody was leaving when I showed up. Everybody leaving. I was like, are you kidding me right now? So I go, and so I tried to get in there. Like, can I at least get a picture of the field? Can I at least get a picture of Commander's building or anything? I could not get through security. They're like, no, we're letting everybody out. Nobody's coming in.
Oh, man. Boo.
Horrifying.
So how many people have ever gone somewhere where they had to take an Uber ride one way for nothing to happen for you to take another Uber ride on the way back?
Yeah.
And now all of you know the other side of what Mad means and Coach Mad Mike, because I did not want to deal with him when that happened.
I was mad.
Hey, I can tell you right now. I would have been mad too, but I was like, as soon as I got up in the morning yesterday, I sat around. I looked at the time. I said, man, if I want to go, I need to go. Then I sat back down on the sofa, and then I was like, dang.
That couch monster got you, huh?
Yeah, couch monster got me.
Well, at least we didn't have to do this. We didn't have to stand in line. Look at that. Look at that line.
3,000 people. Saturday, 3,000 people today.
3,000 people, and that is a long line.
Yep. And 3,000 people for because that facility is not that big. The area where they actually let people in is not that big. So
$6 billion team in a $100 million facility.
Yeah. So it may not even be that much, shoe. Look at.
I mean, it's probably about a $2 million outdoor practice field.
So yeah, man. But I'm just happy that it should make the players feel good because the fan base is motivated. We haven't had anything be motivated here in a while. So this fan base is here with the whole group is changing the dynamic, the winning dynamic of the fans. Like there's the excitement in DC we haven't had here in a while. So this is definitely a plus to have that many people show up. Now on Ron Rivera's last year, people wasn't showing up out there. I know the team was kind of discouraged because nobody was coming out there. There was no active participation. There's no communication. And only thing you looked on the social media, only thing you saw was the people in Commanders comments talking smack. So I know it made them feel good seeing 3,000 fans out there because we all have high expectations. Even though we're going to finish middle of the pack this year, I believe that we still have high expectations in the DC area for winning football.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you know what? I will tell you, like, I do think like the fan base was starting to get so frustrated at all the losing that they almost boycotted the team. And those that showed up, they were just showing up in the Redskins gear talking about the glory days. Yep. You know, they didn't give a flip what really was going on the field because they knew they were going to lose.
Even in the games I went to last year, I can tell you there were a lot of people that came to the stadium that had no interest in going to the game, but they was just out there tailgating, drinking their beers, eating their food, and they was watching the games on
for the party.
TV. Yeah, just there for the party.
We ain't spending $40 on a hot dog.
Nope.
Let's take a look at Scary Terry because Scary Terry went out to the field and people started going a little crazy. So here you go.
1, 2. Y'all was loud at practice today, huh? Yeah. Y'all excited for the season? Yes, sir. For sure.
Sir, I love your work, man.
Man, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
He just signed me.
Thank you.
That's just good stuff.
But you know what I love about that though, right? Again, they haven't been that kind of excitement, and he's definitely a fan favorite. We haven't had a guy in Washington that is like a fan favorite like T-Mac in a long time.
Yeah,
long time. I'm talking about maybe RG3. No one really cared about Kirk Cousins, but RG3 people that was kind of he brought a feeling. T-Mac brings that feeling. Like, okay, man, there is potential. So he's definitely a fan favorite. I love seeing this, him interacting, showing and letting people know, like, hey, we're here. We're here. This is a new organization. This is a new team moving forward. I like that. And the fans are starting to see there's a change in dynamic.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
All right, so there's been some injuries going on around the league, Lars Sargent. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Inside of our division?
So I was going to jump in earlier on what you said there, Shaq, and you're like, yeah, we're looking for a mediocre year. I'm throwing the gauntlet down. We are not having a mediocre year. Here's why. Let's look around our division and see what our chances are just based on the first weekend of injuries to our competition. You know what happened out in Cowboy Land, Shaq?
No, update me. Update me, Lawrence Sarge. Update me.
Defensive end, Sam Williams, season-ending ACL and MCL tear. They got no edge rush.
Oh, Michael Parsons holding out. CeeDee Lamb holding out. Dak Prescott wanted to
get nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a big one because like you said, Michael Parsons is holding out. On the other side, they got DeMarcus Ware, who DeMarcus Lawrence.
You can double team that.
Who's playing in the final year of his contract. So like, there's not like you got Marshawn, who is the guy that they drafted in the second round, but like they're getting very thin at that position already.
Very thin.
Yeah.
All right. Disclaimer up front: Large Sarge is not celebrating or promoting in any way, shape, or form any player in the NFL getting an MCL tear or being injured in any way whatsoever. I hate it all. I don't want anyone to be injured. I want them all on the field playing. However, in light of the context, Commander's edition, the fact that they lost a tight end, I'm not crying.
I concur.
The Giants.
these young men out there putting themselves on the line every time. We don't want to see them intentionally get hurt, but I mean, it's the Cowboys play. I mean, we kind of rub an elbow to this one a little bit.
We're actually doing this. We're going.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with all of them holding out.
Okay. Hurdle.
Yeah.
Jump the first hurdle. The Giants, ready for this news? Brad Buns, running back, injured. Tyler Newman, the safety, hit the pup list.
Dang.
And the news with Sad Sack Jones is he's only connected half the balls that he's got with neighbors. Like,
it's already getting bad.
It's already getting bad.
It's weak. So
well, I can tell you right now, even if we win, if we go 8-9, that's what I predict us go 8-9. Even if we go 8-9, we still can finish second in this conference.
Yeah,
behind the Eagles, because the Eagles have improved their defense. They have improved their offense, bringing in Saquon. And then I mean everybody's there, paid, fed, and happy. So what I'm saying. The coaching staff is still there. Their ground attack has got better. So they've actually made improvements. Giants, I'm expecting maybe 4 or 5 wins from them this year. And the Cowboys, I think, will finish right around the middle of the pack with us, maybe 8-9, because you can never count the Cowboys out as long as they had Dak Prescott playing. And you know what I'm saying? And now with Dan Quinn leaving, Joe Witt leaving, all of that, how much is that going to affect their defense? So those are things that's going to determine. But they're going to be right around.
I don't have a toilet flush on here, but if I had one, I'd be toilet flushing right now.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, the Eagles, who we all think are going to be the division leaders this year, right? However, I'm predicting that the Commanders are going to split games at least. I think we had a chance to take them in both games because we were horrible last year and we were in both games. But I'll settle for a split. Cooper DeJean, their defensive back, hit the NF5 for 3 weeks. The second round pick they were. Yeah, that's a big one for them. So
that's a big one.
He'll be ready for regular season, but without practice.
That's a major blow because again they made improvements. They made improvements all around the field. So that's a major blow.
Yes.
And then if you really think about it, and so the only thing coming into question this year for the Eagles, this is just me, is their defensive line. Ron Rivera and them had it figured out. Drive the ball down their throat. If you want to beat them, drive the ball down their throat. Did they try to make improvements on it? Yes, they did. When they brought in Sue, they brought in all the other guys and stuff like that. But those guys are gone now, and they didn't really make any real serious improvements right there on their defensive line. So
that's what I'm saying, man. We're 1 for 1. There is no reason we can't beat them twice this year. There's no reason, honestly, we can't be number. And who do we have injured there, Coach Mad Mike or Shaq? In the first weekend, do we have any injuries on the Commanders? I did not look.
No.
Although I heard they only practiced for like a little over an hour today, so you don't get.
It was an hour and 15 minutes today for 3,000 people. I heard down on news, man, as I was driving back from the liquor store, got me some new whiskey, and I'm like, 15 minutes? What? I know it's hot, but that gum.
Man, when we were in the Army, man, we all did PT longer than an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, like football now.
Yeah.
What? An hour and 15 minutes in pads? Quinn, are you afraid? Are you scared? What's going on?
It took them longer to get ready and to shower up afterwards than it did actually practice.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this right here, though. I mean, I can understand. They don't want the injured in the players, any of the players. Okay, cool, got it. But what they do need to come to grips with is that this organization need to be toughened up. They need to be out here doing 2 days. They need to be out here grinding hard. You know what I'm saying? They need to be out here practicing like they want to win. Because right now, I mean, we can hour and 15 minutes of practice. That's nothing. Like you said, that's nothing.
And for those who have played before, there is a stark difference between being in shape and being in football shape.
Yep.
Yes.
Football shape's a whole different thing. You got to get cracked a couple of times. You got to take some hits. And you got to go, oh, yeah, that's what that feels like. And so you got to get out there and crack them. And, you got to hit the sleds for the linemen. You got to freaking go hard. You got to play at full speed. You got to take a couple of hits. So I mean, yeah, you run risk of injuries, but you have a team that you have to prepare for
So,
physical contact.
so this is my thing right here, right? Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. Uh, and it does say that Cornelius Lucas and Brandon Coleman are struggling.
Yep, we're gonna talk about that.
Yep,
Okay.
and Andrew Wiley having injury issues, right?
But he's healthy now.
Yeah, he's healthy now.
He's got history. Okay.
Yeah, but right now they saying Wiley, the offensive line, like Lars Sargent's been beaten up since we had the lost tackle trying out. The offensive line is beat up, man.
I still got his number.
You need to give him a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to give him a call. Because
all right, so one of the things I did do all right, go ahead. What did you say, Lars Sarge?
I said Quinn, he's cheap. I can get him for cheap.
And we know Dan Quinn watches our show, so pay attention here.
Coming in the practice squad and beat up on him, but he's cheap.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
And when we talk about getting back to the toughness of football shape, getting back to the toughness of the sport, I mean, we don't want to see James Daniels get hit. We don't want to see Marcus Mariota get hit, Sam Hartman get hit. But hey, they're gonna get hit in the game. Yeah. They're gonna get hit in the game. So I mean, I ain't saying go full John Allen and Deron Payne them go full all out, but they need to start preparing these guys for a long 17-game season, you know what I'm saying, of football, hard-nosed football.
Well,
last week,
Harbaugh and the Ravens had to clamp down on their fourth-year defensive end for coming after the quarterback a little too hard. Had to remind him it was just practice. So,
So there's
they got money in there. They're worried,
Well, we also did grow up in the era of watching football where there was no quarterbacks with red jerseys. Like they was out there, helmet, pads, full dress, day one, out there ready to rock.
How do you think Bradshaw and Staubach and all these guys and Namath feel about how the game is they're just gonna be going, oh dear God. I remember preseason, I got my butt kicked.
Yeah,
they were paid
it started the game.
Yeah, they were paid 1/100th of what they're getting paid now, but they took all the hits.
Yeah,
and developed this league.
If you think about it, like look at guys like Elway. Elway used to get punished. Joe Montana, Steve Young, these guys used to get punished and wasn't getting paid a quarter of the money these guys getting paid now. These guys used to take some real hits. And I'm talking about in practice.
I'm talking about Eisman. Those guys got hit.
You got hit, and I'm talking about in practice. This was before the games. This was in practice. So
all right, let's talk about our defense, guys. So defensively, Deron Payne got on and they gave an interview with him like, hey, what did he think about how this defense is going, and how is it shaping out? What does he think practice is like under this new regime? So let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Hey, Deron. Tell me about the defense.
We're really working on just flying around and getting to the ball, hunting. That's the main emphasis right now. Just you want everybody hunting. Everybody should be around the ball, no matter how far the ball is down the field. So we this year we're gonna try to be hunting and getting after them.
Can you tell me a little bit about the scheme and how it fits for you and John? Some of the carryovers that are kind of working through the new scheme with Witt and Quinn.
Man, they letting us just go. He's letting us just be explosive, be explosive guys, get after the quarterback, get after the run game. So, Jay done made plenty of plays already this camp, just being explosive, getting out the ball, not worried about nothing. So, it's going to be fun to see. I think we're going to make a bunch of plays.
I don't know if this has been asked yet, but the past couple of years in the previous defense, you guys were just asked to win one-on-one a lot.
Yeah.
Running more games and stuff now up front, how does that benefit you, and how do you think it'll help your game?
I definitely get an offense something different to see. They won't be able to scheme us up and just focus on what we do one-on-one. Just you can be able to scheme a guy up and look at what they do best and scheme them out of the game. So do all that work together, I feel like it's gonna be a lot for offenses.
Coverage of the last three camps, this looks like physically the best shape that you've come in. What do you feel about your body, and did you do anything different this offseason to get yourself ready?
Man, I really, like, every offseason I be on it, man. I get straight to it. I usually stay around here and train hard, but shoot, like I said, with the new defense we got, they want us hunting, so we got to be around the ball. If we're not around the ball, it's a bad play no matter what you did. So they want us flying, so I feel like that's just getting me in shape already.
Hey, Duron, working with Daryl Tapp, this past few months, like, what has that been like, and what have you learned from him so far?
Man, he has a lot of intent in what he do, and like the drills that we do, and like the work that we put in. We just don't come out here and just do things to waste time. Like he thinks about it and preps ahead and do things to get us in good shape and have like good technique and stuff.
And working with like Clelin Ferrell and Dorrance Armstrong, 2 new guys that you've got in, like, what has it been like working with those guys?
Oh man, it's fun, man. That boy Clee, he one of the guys. He high energy, high effort. He go get after the quarterback, and all them boys, man. It's just like it's fun to see, like, coming from rushing with Montez Sweat and Chase Young and Ryan Kerrigan. It's just fun to see like different DNs come in and how they move and what things they do to get wins and stuff,
Duron, the guys behind you, Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, you have a very different linebacking core. How have they kind of assimilated into what you guys are trying to do as a group?
I mean, those are 2 veteran guys, man. Bobby Wag, he commands the huddle, and we listen to him. He gets it out to us, and I feel like they're going to be really good for our defense.
Yeah.
Exit.
When he was doing his interview, he gets up and walks out.
Yeah, he'd be like,
gentlemen,
all right.
I'm not impressed with him. I'm not impressed with that press conference.
Well, he's not the best interviewer in the world, man. But like, they got control.
The only thing I got out of that was, okay, with Sweat gone, etc. There's a new group in town, and I'm learning new things. That's the only thing I heard that made any sense to me. Otherwise, we're just flying around.
I'm surprised he didn't bring up like Dante Fowler. He didn't bring him up. It like just some other guys that he just didn't bring up. But this thing right here, right? I think so Deron Payne we can all agree Deron Payne had a better year than John Allen last year, right? So those guys start piecing together. So now there's a focus in the center of that defense where they're going to make adjustments. They don't know where it's going to come from. John Allen, Deron Payne, again, Deron Payne, if he comes up playing like he did last year, he can be looking at 10, 11 sacks this year. And
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. The lineman.
I hope his feet and his flying are better than his talking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's always consistently.
I get it, but dadgum.
But he consistently gets at it. The things I kind of like in there was the emphasis on like, hey, we gotta hunt people down, and we all got to get to the ball. And if you're not at the ball or you're not getting to the ball, it's a bad play for you. So like that's a different kind of thing than I've heard in the past. The other kind of thing that I was kind of surprised on was no one asked him about, how does Johnny Newton fit in?
Yeah, that's a good one. Because
I have to say the reporter questions weren't all that good either.
Yeah. I'm gonna say adding him because earlier I read today that Mathis is on the bubble for getting cut, like we talked about last week. So he's on the bubble of getting cut. So how does Johnny Newton fit in on this rotation? So that's the question that need to be asked. Like with him being a nice new young guy, how are y'all taking him under your wing? Like what are y'all doing to help prepare him for what the NFL is really like? You really
next week. I want you interviewing him next week.
The other question I would have asked too is like how is this new role working with Jamin Davis? Is he going to be more of the backup linebacker, or are they going to put him on in too? Because I heard he's been working with Ryan Kerrigan to do defensive end. That's another great question they could have asked, but they didn't ask him about like how that's working.
Well, again, I told you. We discussed already, but about Jamin Davis maybe being a special teams guy. Only thing that's saving him is his speed from sideline to sideline. He can't cover that much. He don't defend the run that well. So it's like, I mean, I mean, if you think about it, and then schematically, the defense, he don't fit in nowhere. Is he going to play? Yes. Is he going to play? Yeah, of course he's going to play. You know what I'm saying? They're going to use his big physical body, but I don't him fitting into the future scheme of this program, this organization. Nah, this may be the last year we see Jamin Davis in Commander's uniform, Redskin uniform, or whatever we want to call them today, football team.
Yeah, what are we gonna call it today, right? All right, so I got some footage of them being out there, and here's a little bit of Jaden Daniels, and I'm not sure I'm as excited as play as everybody else was.
Why do you want to take a walk?
No.
Oh!
It's cruising. He wasn't even running.
He wasn't even running.
Oh, look at me.
Now, everybody seemed to be so excited about this play, but I'm going to tell you something.
You hate it.
I hate it.
Oh,
I don't want him to do a design freaking run.
Yeah.
Well, I Coach Man Mike, I'm gonna tell you this right now. We air raid offense. It's air raid offense. Kingsbury's offense. They're gonna be same thing he was doing with the young man out in Arizona. We're gonna get a lot of that. Kyler Murray. Yep. We're going to get those. We're going to get design runs. We're going to get quarterback draws. We're going to get, you know, and we're going to get sweep options.
The RPO. Man.
Yeah,
it gives me the RG3 heebie-jeebies.
Yep,
I don't like it.
I mean, that's
the pocket.
He only wants pocket passers. Run in emergencies only.
Yeah. Well, you run if you have to, but you don't design you to go out and get smacked by freaking defenders.
Yeah.
Listen, it's only going to take a couple times for him to get hit and him getting crushed up by Michael Parsons or somebody like that a couple times. He going to learn. He going to learn.
Well, I mean, I will tell you what I hope he's learning.
He's not going to learn if that's a design play. He's got to run it.
He got to run
I will tell you what he needs to learn in that situation. And that's how to slide.
How to slide. Yeah.
You better learn how to slide. And I didn't see it on that play.
Gents, do you think they're going to give him the ability to call an audible on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Because, so he didn't just play at LSU. He played at Arizona State. This man did 5 years in college. So it's like he has the capability to analyze the field. As a rookie, is he going to be doing it all the time? No. But if he gets to the line and he sees something that will work, you know what I'm saying? They be like, hey man, just call it.
You think they're gonna give him a little rope?
They're gonna give him a little rope, not too much. They're gonna give him a little rope.
So one of the things that I saw was about Andrew Wiley. Andrew Wiley, for those that don't know, he is projected to be our starting right tackle. However, he woke up this morning and he felt a little tight. And so in the feeling of a little tight, he showed up to practice, but in the 1 hour and 15-minute practice that they had, he did not take the field and do anything. So, like, what they did was they were rotating Cornelius Lucas and Brandon Coleman, flopping them from left to right.
This offensive line is in trouble, man. This offensive line is in trouble, man.
You know what they need? You know what they need? They need some serious cheerleader action going on. To heal these guys up.
Something.
Cheerleaders need to get involved.
Yes. Little friendly after practice action.
Or a before practice calf rub down. Something.
Something.
Put those girls to work.
Because I can tell you right now, this offensive line, Coleman's struggling. Lucas is struggling. Wiley is hurt. Like, come on, man. And then we're not even looking in free agency for another lineman. Like, come on.
I know. I don't.
Every week I Google it to see if there's something that we might not be catching. Somebody somewhere got an inkling. There's nothing.
There's nothing.
They could bring in dudes from the UFL for cheap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can bring them in for cheap. Like, you ain't got
one of the things I found very interesting. So one of the things I found very interesting is, according to the depth chart out there that I looked at, Trent Scott is supposed to be the backup right tackle. He did not take first team reps. And so I found it interesting, like, whoever loses the left tackle job whether it's Lucas or Brandon Coleman, it sounds like that person is going to be the backup for both tackle positions. Because there's no other way to explain why you would just swap them from left to right to get them reps, but keep them both on the field.
Maybe it wasn't reps. Maybe they wanted to see how well they took it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a coach's query, you know?
Well, but this is my thing right here, though, right? So Dan Quinn is going to be relying heavily on Kingsbury to get this offense together, his offensive staff to get together. He's a defensive-minded guy. He's not going to be out there making the decisions to call plays. He's just going to look. If Kingsbury say, we're going for it, he's just going to give him a nod, yes or no. He's not going to
give him that much rope?
Of course. As the offensive coordinator, there was an offensive-minded head coach. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, what do we got? What we doing? Tell me what
it is going to be Kingsbury's. Kingsbury is going to be calling the shots on offense for sure.
For sure. Like, no, hands down. Fourth and goal. He's going to look at Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is going to nod his head, yes or no. That's it. Yep. No input. That's it. Yes or no.
I'm going to hold you to that, Shaq.
So we have some first week training camp observations, a lot of observations that came in. I got a lot of analysts. I did a lot of homework on these guys. What do they see? What do they think about what they've seen with this team? And they are mostly people from the news and outlet stuff, not just the open practice, but those that were in the media passes that could be there on a limited basis, even on during closed practices, and what they were able to see.
Right.
And so what they did was, here's some of the analysts and some of the comments that they made. So they say pretty much Jane Daniels definitely looks like QB1. Regardless of what they're saying about he hasn't been given the nod, he clearly stands out as being QB1 in practice.
Okay.
Number 2, Brandon Coleman. It looks like Brandon Coleman, with how much time he is, he's going to be on the field somewhere, either left or right tackle.
Where's the lost tackle at, man? Come on.
We need to bring him in.
We need to bring him in.
You know what? I'll put a call out to him.
Yeah, we need him.
Call out to him. I think he's
recovered. The other one is cornerback. Tariq Castro Fields is making an impression, which we know he's a very, very deep option at corner. But if he's making an impression, he might be one that makes
special teams
something, right?
They said Sanderfield is playing, balling out.
Yeah.
So
he should.
So another one, Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes, they say, looks like a completely different player.
Yep, star is going way up.
He's bulked up 17 pounds of what they call muscle mass from last year, and he looks more physical and he looks more determined. But
Coach Matt Mike. 17 pounds. He weighed 165 pounds last year. How much? 17 pounds?
That puts him up to 175. He's still small.
I think they weighed him right after the shower.
I guarantee all three of us.
Get on the scale with your towel. Yeah, with the towel.
Yeah. Come on now. Put some sand in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? He was 165 pounds last year.
Coach, you're right. All the news on him is that he is a very much improved player, that they're really liking what he's doing.
Which I hope is true.
Yeah, of course, right?
Right.
I mean, he's hearing all the talking about him being on the bubble, not being on the roster, not getting any playing time, how we bombed out last year. He's hearing it just like we're saying it. He's hearing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the other one is there's a lot of mixed reviews about Jamin Davis. From anywhere he's on the roster bubble to him potentially becoming traded to they'll keep him around just because he's so versatile, because Ryan Kerrigan's working with defensive end and they could also keep him in linebacker, and he seems to be on the field quite a bit. So there's no one really knows what's going on with Jamin Davis, but it sounds like they're just trying to find ways to get him involved in this defense.
So he's lost in the sauce, but he's not quite yet a fly that you want to pick out of it.
Yeah.
He's in the mix. He's in the sauce, and you're trying to dig around to figure out where the fly is. You can't find him because he's too damn quick.
I just feel like that we wasted a pick on him. He's another one of those guys I feel like we wasted a pick on, right? It was just something about these Ron Rivera picks. I just didn't agree with none of them. I just didn't. I was like, man, what is he doing? Like, so with Jamie Davis, I can see them getting rid of him for draft capital. We probably get like a third or fourth round. Now, and you think about this, we drafted linebackers. We also undrafted free agents. We signed 2 linebackers. So it's like, I mean, the heat is on. It's on him to
The heat's
perform.
on.
The heat is
And
on.
so,
Sounds like
on that topic,
he's chasing it too. It sounds like he's chasing it. He's trying to make a home for himself.
Yeah, they say that he's in there. He's working really, really hard, but they're trying to carve out a role somehow. But like he could, it could be a coin toss. Does he make the team or does he?
Might not be strong enough to beat someone out, but you got to give an A+ for the effort, right?
Well, and then who's the linebacker they've been talking about?
Jordan McGee.
Yeah, Jordan McGee. Yeah, I was saying Jordan McGee. I was like, yeah, they dude is balling out. So it's like
he is balling out. He was a 5th round draft pick, and they are raving over this guy. They're like, we got this guy as an absolute steal. Some of the comments they said about him is this is from Dan Quinn. He goes, he's got rare quickness, and he has and he has like some absolutely scary burst. That's really, really good for linebackers to have. For really good linebackers. So it's like he's just like this guy is just flat out there balling.
What do you say? He's like a Madden 92 acceleration with that 92.
They say he's explosive and he like flies around all the time, and he's just like the kind of guy like they're real happy they have this guy.
Yeah,
and I got a 5th round pick, so they feel like they got a steal there.
Yeah, I got some news for you too on the Army front, buddy. So Large Sarge got college 25, got Coach Mad Mike over here, and we burned him the entire weekend losing with Army. We're 1-4.
It had nothing to do with Commanders news at all, but Large Sarge sometimes throws stuff like that out there.
So I know what acceleration is because I can see it in the college game. That's my point.
Oh,
so
man.
another thing that they said about camp that I find kind of interesting is, we got that UFL kicker. We didn't get Jake Bates because he signed with the freaking Lions. But like I did. But we did bring in Ramiz Ahmad. And apparently it's not looking good for him.
Really?
He's the only kicker we got on our roster, and he has been sucking it up.
Really?
In 2 days, he's dunked 2 balls consecutively off the right upright. Doing.
Wow. That's fun for the fans.
Hey, look, I want
2 days in a row, he's done it.
And now, before you move on to that, right? You know what else I read today? I'm glad that we're talking about this. You know what else I read today? How Dan Quinn wants to try Quan Martin as a hybrid safety linebacker as well. That's another issue there for Jamie Davis. They want to try. They want to try him as a hybrid
safety
linebacker. Yes.
What?
Yeah. So that's another.
It's not a new thing. There's been some hybrid guys like that that's happened to in the past.
Mike, large stars don't understand it. Hybrid safety linebacker. What is that?
So a hybrid safety linebacker is a guy that's he's a really good coverage linebacker. Yep. He's very, very good in coverage. He might be a little bit small enough on the smaller side. He's fast. So they kind of use him as like a strong safety, but they can put him in a linebacker, and it gives them flexibility to kind of use him in a number of different ways. And they call him a hybrid type of player. And it's common. It is common.
Because that's another thing I've seen. They was talking about playing him in like that kind of hybrid position. And again, we've seen it. We've seen it elsewhere. We've seen safeties drop down into the linebacker position, and because we've seen this throughout the years. So this is nothing new. Dan Quinn did it in Dallas last year.
Yeah,
he did it in Dallas last year. So it's like,
so you're gonna make a hybrid safety linebacker, but you're not gonna go for John Davis. I'm sorry. From a fan standpoint, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. You either have the speed to be a safety and close because you got to close if someone breaks, or you have the size and speed to be a linebacker and stand up to a running back or an offensive lineman who's pulling and put him on his butt.
But there are players that are so extraordinarily athletic and talented that they kind of fit in between. They can play either one.
They make up for it.
So if you get one of those really dynamic kind of hybrid type of players, it gives you more options to do with him. It also gives you more options when injuries start setting in.
Yep.
So it's a good kind of player to have.
True.
Yep. And so with them with Dan Quinn having that kind of discussion, that's another issue for Jamin Davis. It is. They're like, well,
right.
We like what you do, but we have this guy right here just flying all around the field. We can put him in 2 different positions. We don't need to carry you if we got Henry. You know what I'm saying? I got Quan Martin. We got the rookie out here playing, McGee playing. It's like, hey, you know.
I'm telling you, there's guys that are battling out there. And one of the comments that I heard out there was from Benjamin St. Juice. Benjamin St. Juice, they asked him, like, you know, you've been with the team for a while. What do you see that's different? He goes, Dan Quinn, he focuses so much on intensity every day. He wants to see intensity every single day. And he also wants to see competitiveness every day. So
for at least an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know. So how could you say you want to see intensity and competitiveness and only have an hour 50 minutes? I mean, hour 15 minutes of practice.
I'm sorry, Coach. I didn't mean to cut you off, but what?
Hey, at least you don't have to show it very long, right? Like, I think I could be
got one play to juice it up, and that's it. One play, I want intensity, and then you're out.
Yeah, I think I might be able to be intense and competitive for an hour and 15 minutes.
I want to see intensity after being on that field in Virginia humid heat after 3 hours. Then I'm going to dig in your butt, and I want to see where your gut is. I want to see.
You know what? On that note, the other comment he made is that a lot of players are a lot more vocal out there. So that might be another point. Hey, you could be vocal when you're only practicing an hour and 15 minutes, but if you're practicing 3 hours, you're not so vocal after that.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know nothing and I don't know nothing about your intensity. That's not the long game. You got 60 minutes of football to play.
And
you push.
And I like the fact that he's doing it. You know, he wants, like, there are coaches in the NFL that are known for intensity. Dan Campbell, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. They said there are rooms that when he goes in the room, the people don't even want to be in the room with him. Like, that's the kind of coach I want. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you a contrast. Here's a contrast.
Yeah.
Coach Man Mike, you play Jaden Daniels doing the lope like a trot with a horse, and he's still so fast at a trot he got around the end, right? And then you got Harbaugh in San Diego making Herbert doing push-ups 30 minutes after practice.
Yeah.
That's a coach.
That's coach. That's intensity.
That's intensity. Hey, you got your star quarterback doing push-ups after practice? That's intensity. Beat your face.
Intensity. Yep. Beat your face. Yep.
All right. So Micah Parsons is really, really close to Dan Quinn. As a matter of fact, Micah Parsons looks at him as an uncle. And apparently, and so they actually asked Micah Parsons after one of his practices about Dan Quinn and you know what, you know, whether or not, you know, how close the relationship really is. And Micah Parsons said this. He goes, he checks in on me. That's still my big uncle, someone I really, truly love. But at the end of the day, I got a job to do, and that is to kick his butt, although he used a different word. I try to kill my channel. He goes, try to kick his butt twice a year, and we can hug it out afterwards.
Okay, I like that. That's
so,
good on
you. Here's what I did when I saw you. Yeah. So anyway, this is one of the things that I like to see. Huh?
I would love to see him in our uniform.
Oh, so I was getting ready to go there because some of the big news out of this thing is we've been reporting this for a little while about the Dallas Cowboys about, hey, they're not going to be able to keep all these players. When you look at DeMarcus Ware in a final year of a contract, you know, Dak Prescott, CD Lamb, and then you got Micah Parsons, who you either need to exercise the 5th-year option or he's out, right? Yep. So, and there's no way in the world with their salary cap situation that they're going to keep all these guys. It's impossible because all their market values are like sky high.
Yep.
And they're not going to have the money.
They only have like 13 million cap space, right? Or am I off? I thought it was like 13. It's not a lot they have.
That's this year, but like next year they're going to have like, I think it's going to be like around 65 million. But if Dak Prescott costs 55 million, you don't have any money to play with.
That's right.
Yeah. And then that's why they let Tony Pollard walk. It's like, man, they already started subtracting the pieces that we're going to just start costing them way more money. So they're looking at the long term of keeping Dak locked in. But there is no way you're going to keep this roster together with your salary cap. Somebody's not going to get paid.
So on Friday, apparently, Jerry Jones offered CeeDee Lamb a contract. The terms and conditions were undisclosed.
I heard.
But he was offered a contract, which could spell the end of Dak Prescott. We don't know. But it definitely puts things into question when it comes to Michael Parsons and different things like that, because he's going to command a high fifth-year option contract.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you want to sign him long-term, but I will tell you this, if he walks out that door, if Michael Parsons walks out the door, Michael Parsons will not get out of the parking lot before Dan Quinn's on the phone with him.
I can tell you right now, and Michael Parsons will be the highest paid linebacker in football, no matter where he is. He will be. He will be.
Someone will bone it up. Yeah.
So you don't think he would come down a little bit to be with Dan Quinn?
No, because right now we live in a money first league. This is a money first league. Pay me.
Well described.
Yeah, it's the money first
league.
League.
Coach Mad Mike. We were crying the blues yesterday after playing college football about how the league's just gone soft, and it's all about the money.
Yeah.
And how this bubbles with the quarterbacks is going to burst with all these new quarterbacks. The bubble, it's a bubble. It's got to burst.
Mediocre. We got mediocre players that really haven't won nothing, getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever case may be. And that's even with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott getting about to get paid $55-60 million a year.
By comparison, he's worth it, right? By comparison, no.
Well, if you compare him to the scrubs that are getting all that money, then yeah.
But I
don't think anybody's worth $50 million.
He's better than Cousins.
He is.
I mean, that's what he's worth in the league. That's where the league is going.
I
don't agree with it.
Me neither.
I
would like to, and this is me. I would like to see him outside of Dallas. I would want to see him perform outside of Dallas. Like, he's down there. He's been in this system so long. You know, he had Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? He had guys that he grew accustomed to. I'm like, he didn't really have any pressure at the backup. Now, does he perform 4,000 yards, 4,300 yards passing every year, 10, 15, 20 touchdowns a year? Yeah, he performs. But he always hits the plateau. Boom, he hits the plateau. He don't move past a certain point. It's like he chokes. He just loses all football acumen once he gets in the playoffs, or he loses it at the end of the season. It's like it just goes out the window.
I think it's the Dallas curse that hangs over since Tony Romo was there, right?
Yeah.
Because Tony Romo did the same thing.
Yep.
But anyway,
I'd love to see Prescott go to Seattle or something like that. That'd be interesting.
Him with DK Metcalf up there. Oh man,
that'd be interesting.
That would be.
I could see him go there. I could also see him go to a place like Denver, because Sean Payton's going to be looking for a quarterback.
Yes, that's right. Yes, he will. Yes.
I'm say New Orleans, Vegas. There are some teams they could use him.
Yeah,
now Coach Mad Mike and I talked about this on our Friday show on the NFL Update. Just what the heck are the Cowboys going to do as it relates to where we're at with the Commanders, right? Where are they going to fall in division? And every piece of news that comes out related to Dallas, the Giants are going to finish ahead of them if they don't get this ship on a straight course and make it float, because it's sinking to the right. You know, it's gone down.
Well, Lawrence, I can tell you this right now.
There's so many holes in the hull, you know?
Yep.
There's only so many thumbs they can put in it to keep the ship going.
Yep. I can tell you this right now, Lawrence. If the Cowboys don't win any games this year, I will be the most satisfied person in America.
Well, yeah, as a good Commanders fan, you got to be. They're a top 5 draft pick next year. Top 5.
The Cowboys?
Yep.
Nah.
I don't know about that.
They're gonna make. I know we did our prediction, but the more news I see, the more things get desperate.
First of all, this team still
They
has
got the worst running back crew in the league by ESPN. The worst, number 32.
Well, that's true because
they got no run game. CeeDee Lamb is on the lamb.
Yep.
So
Prescott isn't motivated.
So there's still a lot of pieces in the room, right? So you're right about the running back core. You still got Ezekiel Elliott there, but like, I think when it comes to like, you don't want like some of these guys are going to be all out for themselves, so it won't gel, so they won't win in the playoffs. But they're going to win games because CeeDee Lamb's going to want his numbers to be high, trying to lock in that contract.
If he's still there.
Well, he might be the one that signed, right? But then you're going to have Dak Prescott wanting to make an impression because he's going to be auditioning for a $55 million per year check, and he's going to want a multi-year contract.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Now, this is probably a make or break year for him. Like if they don't make a deep run to the playoffs and stuff like that, because like you said, they got the worst ground game in per capita in the NFL, right? Worst ground game. And me personally, I think Zeke just went back there to retire.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna do a couple years there, and he's gonna just go ahead. They're gonna try to trade him.
A comeback year, right? Unless he gets a spark and has a comeback year, which is not likely, but it could happen, right?
Yeah,
every day. Yeah. But okay, so here's Cowboys against the Commanders. I got Dak and CD. Let's say they make it. And on defense, I got one guy, Parsons. That's not a team.
You got more than that. But like, hey, we got a comment in from Yazid Trice, so thank you for your support, buddy. He says the Giants will be the worst team in the league this year. I actually personally think
I agree.
I think they'll be the worst team in the division for sure. But I have the Carolina Panthers probably being the worst team in the league. But like, hey, thank you, Yazid, for the comment. But like, I will tell you, like the Giants, I can see the Giants being a top 5 pick in the NFL draft next year, not the Cowboys. But I can see the Giants be there.
Well, the Giants and the Cowboys are going to be because of the improvements we made in the offseason. The Eagles are steady and consistent, right? The NFC East is going to beat up on each other. We always do it every year. We can go 1-15, and that one win is going to be against the team in the NFC East, right? So with that being said, I do feel like with the issues they have with cap space and everything in Dallas, and the Giants their identity is going down. They're going to be fighting for the basement of the conference. That's just me. That's the way I feel. Hopefully, but preferably the Cowboys.
Well, the Giants always have the Cowboys number for some reason.
Yeah.
For some reason, when they don't deserve it, they got their number. Kind of like we got Philly's number last year when we didn't deserve it. We were in those games. Well, there should have been blowout games, but they weren't. They were in it right to the end. With nothing on paper would ever tell you it was even close, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we love the NFL, right, gentlemen?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's why we do.
Yeah, I was like,
he mentioned another comment on there. He talked about Shadir being the number 1 pick to go to the Giants to be with Malik Neighbors. That's the Colorado quarterback. I actually think that could be a possibility. I don't know where he's going to go in the draft, but like I definitely think the Giants are going to be in play because they're going to definitely be looking for a quarterback next year.
The Giants drafted a quarterback this year.
Remember? Yeah, but
they drafted a quarterback this year.
Yep.
And they just paid Daniel Jones. They just paid him.
And the way Jones is looking, that guy might get a shot.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Jones will probably, like, if he doesn't pull it together, he might be gone for sure.
Yeah.
So
he's going to spend the rest of his days as a backup.
Wait a minute. Yazid's chiming back in here. He says, Commanders can be competitive, but the Cowboys are going to win the division? Yazid, the Cowboys are going to win our division?
Come on, man.
No. Come on.
All right,
Eagles. I'm not giving Cowboys that. Cowboys are going to finish under the Commanders this year. I'm sorry.
Put in the comments give me the top 3 reasons why you think the Cowboys will win the division. What top 3 things makes you think they're going to finish? They're going to beat the Eagles and the Commanders.
I would say just give me one.
If you said the Giants, I'd say that's it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
I love the comment though. I appreciate the comment for sure.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
Oh my goodness. So, man,
I mean, but if you think about it though, like again, but the cap space and everything, and then again, the most complete football team in the conference is the Eagles, right? The most rebuilt team is the Commanders, us, right?
Their most complete team
is the Eagles in this conference, and right now what the Cowboys are doing, playing with their superstars, I just don't see it. Again, the Giants are in the middle of rebuild, and this may be Dayball's going to be on a hot seat. Watch what I tell you. He's going to be on a hot seat this year. So that's going to create a whole bunch of instability in New York for them. So we're talking about again, the Cowboys and the Giants fight for the bottom of the conference. Now, if the Cowboys do somehow win 10 or 11 games this year, I don't know.
I just don't see that happening. I predicted it before. I even did a short on this about there. I think that there's so much uncertainty about the future with this team. Their salary cap situation looks like they're heading towards a downfall where they're going to have to rebuild. And when you look at that situation like that, I look at it and, Jerry Jones kind of already tipped his hand. He did not extend Dak Prescott. He did not extend CeeDee Lamb. He did not extend Mike McCarthy. Yeah. When you get your quarterback, your coach, your primary receiver, and you don't get these guys contract extensions as an owner, you're sending a message. Like, I don't know if this whole setup I have is the future of this program. I might need to rebuild.
I'm gonna tell you, Coach Man Mike, and hear me out because I've been saying this for a long time. He can stay as long as he wants because he's keeping that organization in the armpits of the world, right? But Jerry Jones needs to relinquish power as the head of football operations. Like he needs to let it go. Like he needs to let it go. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons.
He's getting way up there in age, and I tell you, it's a family business. Like he's got sons and grandsons and everything else involved in that organization. Like he can turn it over to a family member and still go more into an advise and assist role because he's getting up there and he's not making clear decisions. I don't think anymore.
No, and it's like when you're in a place, you're a person that's been in a place of power for so long, you just don't want to hear what everybody's saying to you. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Nobody can tell you anything, right?
Nobody can tell you anything.
Because you're the king. You're the king of your own castle. And so like he's not listening to nobody.
Yep. So and that's the thing with him. He needs to relinquish that position and let that duty go. Because right, it's not working out for him. How many more years do y'all have to keep saying the same thing over and over again? That's why we've had in Washington. We've had so many coach changes, general manager changes, football operations changes. New ownership group. We had so many changes because what we were doing was not working. We bringing in stellar players. We're bringing in guys who want to win. They have won before. Super Bowl champs, stuff like that. We're bringing them in because we want something different. Now, how many years are you going to keep doing the same thing? What's going to happen is you're going to pass away in that chair.
Yeah.
And it's going to be total.
Let's face it right now. There are a few places in America, right? That you have little monarchies, like you have the king, like if you were the king of England, like King Charles, you're in that position until you die, right? He didn't take over till Queen Elizabeth died. That's just the way monarchies work, right? When I look at the Dallas Cowboys organization, that is a family-owned business. They've got a line of succession in place. That will not happen until Jerry Jones dies.
Yeah,
it's a monarchy. He's got his own kingdom going over there.
And I don't think he understands how much he is hurting the organization at this point. If you're sitting there and people are trying to tell you what you need to do and they'll do, even Daniel Snyder listened. Daniel Snyder was like, well, the fans hate me. The team is not winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through all this BS with the cheerleaders and all of the hostile work environment, toxic work environment, stuff like that. He sat down and had a conversation with himself and whoever his people were that he listened to and said, hey, it's time for a change. I'm looking to sell the team. As soon as all the minor owners started walking away from him, he knew it was a change. it was a change. We're like, okay, I got to do something about this. We got to change
I'll
that.
tell you who was in his voice. It was Tanya Snyder. It says, if you don't get this crap together with all the allegations that are against you, I'll leave you and I'll take the team.
Yeah, for real. That's what it was, for real. Yep. So, yeah. So yeah, that's
what do you do, man?
Yeah, that's what it was. He's like you either get rid of 100% of it, or I take half of it.
You guys are crazy.
Oh man, oh gosh, and so like, man, he would like. I'm just so glad. Like we're all still talking about it because we're still all scarred from it, man. We all got like Snyder PTSD or something going on with that dude. Like, I mean, we lived in so many dark years, man. A couple of decades of dark years under him.
Do you know what it would do for the DC area if the Commanders made it to the playoffs next year and won a game? We ain't won a playoff game in forever. You know what that would do for this area? I am telling you, there will be a rejuvenation in this DC area that we have not seen. Even with RG3 and them, there will be a rejuvenation in this area like we haven't seen.
I will tell you, there'll be parties in DC if we win a playoff game like we had just won the Super Bowl. It would go crazy if we won a playoff game.
Yeah. Because
you're right. It's been a long
time. It's been a long time. I'm like, man, come on. Yeah.
So
all right, Yazid's in there chatting it up.
What did he say lately?
Yazid's saying, have we all seen the money lines for week one?
Oh man,
I haven't.
What did he say they are?
He's calling 5 upsets in week one. 5. He's going to list them out.
Oh, okay.
The Commanders are going to be 500, and that's it. That's what we actually called it. On our division review, we called it 8 or 9 wins. That's what we called. So we're right in line.
Yep, 8-9. I say 8-9.
Yeah, I said 8-9 also. I think that's good because we're a rebuilding team. We only won 4 games last year. If we can double up and win 8, I think it's a good start. And we're financially with the salary cap situation. We signed a lot of 1-year deals, so we can figure out who we're keeping, who we're letting go, and we've got a lot of flexibility for Adam Peters to do what he does.
We can shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
All right, Yazid's calling Green Bay Ravens Colts. He's going to throw in 2 more that are upsets in week 1.
Okay. I mean, I do see a lot of crazy things happening. I mean, we don't know. I mean,
I'm glad he said the Colts because the Colts is another one of those teams that's kind of on the bubble. Like, I'm glad he said. I'm like we really haven't heard much about them besides the whole Richardson story and stuff like that. So they really have been. They have made just enough noise. Yeah, they've been quiet, just enough noise. You know what I'm saying? So I
want to bring back one point on the Eagles, gentlemen. I want to bring back one point. When I was doing my research around the division on injuries and stuff, you know what I didn't hear about Philly? Anything. Take a guess, Shaq. What news did I not hear out of Philly? Saquon Barkley.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to say. That's right. Yep. I was going to say the salary cap, but yeah, Saquon Barkley. Yep.
What's going on? I would have thought he'd have been top of the pops for them to be writing about.
Well, you got to think about this too, right? So, okay, he's new to the team. He's been in the NFC East his whole career. So everybody has a familiarity with him. Like he's
known in this division.
Yeah. So he's known. So is it a real story? No. I mean, yes and no, because Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith. No team has weapons like that in the NFC East. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody. Nobody has weapons like that. So, I mean, this is yeah. He said he needs to be part of this podcast.
Yeah. Hey, Shaq, he's lighting you up, man. He's like, he needs part of this podcast. He's interested in us bringing him on.
Hey, we might do that, but like he's already on because we're talking about him and he's making comments, so you're already on, buddy. But like, But yeah, like I will tell you, like when I look around this division, I see like the New York Giants, and I see Saquon Barkley. Like people know who he is. I will tell you, one of the ones that he had on his list that I found what kind of interesting was the Ravens, because the Ravens had a chance to be like super scary. But I will tell you, what I don't like about the Ravens, right? Because even though they brought in Derrick Henry and that combination with him um, Lamar Jackson scares the crap out of me, and it probably should scare the crap out of any defense. But one area where I think that they screwed up was they let both their veteran guards hit free agency, and they didn't sign any other veteran guards. So it made their line a little bit more suspect, in my opinion. Not, you got rid of both of your guards.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me a little uneasy. So, even though that there is some buzz, I mean, we're not that far from Baltimore. I hear it. I hear it. I got some friends who are Ravens fans. I got to listen to all their trash talking, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
The Ravens fans are the ones who be calling us the commodes. They be like, "Why don't y'all stay?"
Yeah,
Stay
ain't
down
the only ones.
Stay down in DC. Stay down in DC with all that commode stuff.
No boy.
Yeah, we it's I try to tell them that we're the DMV, which includes all of Maryland. Like you might have a small segment of Baltimore, but we really got all of Maryland.
Oh, God. All right, that's good, Coach Mad Mike. I like that. That's a good comeback.
Yeah, man. But we're talking about linemen again. I don't know what Washington's going to do, but they better figure it out. Cornelius Lucas is there, ain't it? Coleman is not living up. So I don't know what we're going to do, but they need to figure it out. Especially if quick, especially if these guys, like say in the second preseason game, we stop playing our guys all the way into the third quarter, and we start losing guys to injury, linemen to injury. Then what?
We are one injury away from being in trouble. So, like, I would say, like, right now, I would agree with you guys. I would say because preseason starts this Thursday, like literally this Thursday, with the Texans and the Bears. I would say this week, and typically Tuesdays is the days you bring people in the NFL and you try them out. I would say it's time. Like, I would say tomorrow, and I know Dan Quinn and Adam Peters watches this show, so I'm telling you guys, bring them in tomorrow and work out. David Bakhtiari, do a medical. Bring in Donovan Smith. Bring in AJ Humphreys. Bring in a lost tackle, and let's figure this
anybody. Now, anybody. Now, you know what I was thinking about this too, because you did say preseason is about to start, right? So with the preseason about to start, there are going to be reductions in rosters. Maybe they're waiting for the waiver wire. They're waiting to see these teams cut who they cut. Something like, because there's going to be a lot of better.
Mike was saying. He was saying that's like go time once a waiver wire.
I was like,
and we have more cap space than anybody.
Huh?
Because here's the other thing about that is we not only did we have the second overall draft pick, but we had the second pick on the waiver wire. So when guys get released, and I think the Chicago's pick was originally a Panthers pick or something like that. So like whoever, like I think it's the Panthers, like they'll get first dibs on anybody who's cut within the first 24 hours, right? But we get second dibs on any player that hits the market, right? So that puts us in a unique position. And as Adam Peters is like, anybody hits the wire, the number one guy doesn't take him, we're next up to get a shot at him. So we can land some players as they get done. And I think it will definitely, when you start cutting down to the 53-man roster, we might have 4 or 5 positions that might really get interesting where prior to week 1, we're bringing guys in. But like when it comes to left tackle, right tackle, I don't think we can afford to wait till then. No. We need to be thinking about bringing somebody in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
And we've been having this conversation for some months now. Hey, we need to get active. Y'all, we got this rookie quarterback that we have to protect. And y'all are playing around swapping guys out on the left and right side of the line. Like, come on, man. Come on.
If you weren't tracking before, when Wiley showed up and he said he felt tightness and couldn't go today, and you're swapping Brandon Coleman, like you said, with Cornelius Lucas from left to right, left to right, left to right, and you don't have anybody else to rotate in first team reps, that should have scared you.
Well, it is not only that, right? Look, it's not only that. Again, with this air raid offense, the schematics are different. Like you can't be moving somebody all around the line like that. And the schematics of this offense are complicated as hell. And you're moving people all around the line. They don't have no real solid position they're going to be in. And I'm telling you, this line's going to be a problem for us. Lost tackle better massage his calves and get ready.
Yep. All right, guys, we got to wrap this show up. I will tell you what, first of all, Yazid, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, buddy. Make sure you come back next time. We are going to not have a show next week because I will be out. So the next show will be the week after next. We'll have it posted on there so you'll be able to see, if you look at our channel, when we're going to be able to do our show next. What day is that going to be? Is somebody tracking that?
Well, we'll be doing a show on Friday for the NFL, our regular show.
Yeah, regular show Friday for the NFL. So Yazid, you can come back Friday. I mean, that one's pre-recorded though. But you can leave comments on that one. Leave comments on all our videos. But our next live show for the Commanders Edition will be on the 12th of August. I will be back in Florida, but we will be running that show. I'll be hosting it from Florida. You guys will be up here in the D.C. area, and we will go at it again. 12 August. Make sure you do it. Make sure you invite a friend and come on and join us. This is Football Psych, everybody. Hold on. Jack, you got any last party words for everybody?
Man, listen, y'all already know y'all can come and check me out, Journey of a Jackass podcast. Journey of a Jackass. If you want to laugh, have a good time, you know what I'm saying, support local businesses and stuff like that, you know, I'll be on there talking crazy. So come on over, laugh at a good story, you know what I'm saying? And I want to tell everybody, Shaq only hails. Hail to the Redskins.
That's it. Hail to the Redskins. All right, Lord Sarge.
There's only one reason there ain't an R on that uniform. It's a W. What's that W for? Win!
All right, guys, this is Football Slack, and it's Coach Mel Mike, and we are out of here. Peace. All right. Woohoo!